welcome. I'm Anmol and this is Pricelessly Free, a podcast about all things freedom. Our first episode is by yours truly, a bite-sized, soulful solo where I share with you a bit about myself, what freedom means to me, and why I launched this podcast. One thing I've realized in life is that us humans, we all have different definitions of things, be it anything at all, even freedom. And that's okay. That's totally okay. What is fun to one doesn't necessarily have to be the definition of fun for another, and that's totally okay. That's totally valid. Let's talk a bit about my definition of freedom. Freedom to me is so many different things. I envision my life to have freedom, various kinds of freedom, especially time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, mental freedom, and so much more. Let me break these down for you. I aspire a life where I have time freedom. That is, the ability to choose what I give my time to, who I give my time to. Because, folks, if you've not realized this already, time is so priceless. It's so precious. I want a life where I solely decide what and whom I give my time to. For example, in terms of work, let's say, I seek to live a life where I choose how much or how little I do, or how much or how little time I spend on a certain area. And I aspire a life of financial freedom. I, for one, would definitely like to get to a point where I don't need to think at all before spending, be it however much amount of money. Spending on myself, my own needs and wants, spending on family and friends, spending on anything whatsoever. I definitely don't want to be living a life where I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And I want to have that freedom of money not being something that occupies my mental space and energy. As a person, I'm not really materialistic, so I know that money can't buy us happiness, but I do know that it can for sure give us the stability, security, flexibility, the peace of mind in ways to focus our mental energy and time on other things. And so money does give us, in ways, freedom. So I'd love to potentially have multiple sources of income and be financially free. On to the next. Location freedom. So a bit of background for you all. Growing up, I moved around quite a bit, even though it was between the same two countries. So for the longest, I knew I didn't want to move around anymore after I got to the UK. But oh, how things change. In the recent years, especially because of the pandemic, I've realized that actually I would like that location freedom, the ability to be anywhere, at any time, at my own convenience and preference. That's actually something I want for myself. To be able to live and work anywhere, travel around and explore different places without being limited to a place is actually something I do desire. At least for now, at this stage of life. Finally, my definition of freedom includes mental freedom. That is the freedom to detach from things, my limiting beliefs, we all have them, fear, anxiety, societal norms and expectations, and society's quote-unquote normal path of life. You know what I'm referring to, right? The go to uni, get a job, buy a house, settle down, that pathway. Yeah, that one. I definitely seek a life where I am not held back by what others have to say, think, or even do. I'm prioritizing what's best for me, and I'm true to myself, and I'm doing anything and everything that's right for me. Yep, so that's me and my definition of freedom. I am a big believer of manifesting our ideal lives and desires into our reality through our words and actions. So there you have have it. I've spoken my truth, and I truly believe that I can achieve the life that I desire, and so can you. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's freedom for you. Please do reach out and let me know. I launched this podcast to share about all things freedom because we all, in our own different ways, seek it, whatever definition it may be. With Pricelessly Free, I hope to build a community of like-minded individuals who desire their own versions of freedom and have that inner fire and drive to work on it, work for it. And that's actually why I will be bringing in amazing guests to Pricelessly Free, so you can, I can, we all can get inspired by the incredible journeys that these individuals, people just like you and I, have gone through to lead a life of freedom, all on their own terms. Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. If you enjoyed this soulful solo, please follow for more, a lot more exciting episodes coming your way. I would love to hear from you about what you thought about this episode and your definition of freedom. So please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter, where my handle is Pricelessly Free. If you have not yet already, please like, follow, and share this episode, as it really helps broaden visibility to this podcast, enabling this podcast to reach more people and share all the important topics that we speak about in Pricelessly Free. I would also be grateful if you could review this podcast on the platform that you're tuning in from, as I do really love hearing from you, and it definitely helps make this experience for you even better. Remember to connect with me, and thank you so much for tuning in, and catch you soon on our next episode. Lots of love!